Let's move to our next topic, that is try with resource. What is try with resource? Try with resource is a feature that introduced in exception handling from JDK 1.7. The purpose of this try with resource feature is, let's say if your program is using some external resource, whether you are making connections with database or you are connecting with some file system, while executing the code or performing some task, after finishing up the task, you need to close the connections. Whether you want to close with database or want to close the connection with some file system. So those type of connections will automatically close, or those type of resources will automatically close by this feature named try with resource. Means try with resource is mainly used to manage the external resources related to your program or project. It is automatically closing up the connections with them. Okay, doesn't matter whether your code is throwing some exception or not throwing some exception, try with resource will automatically close the connections once the code will execute. Now the question is, as you know that try with resource is automatically managing the external resources for our program, which we were managing earlier by using finally block, then why Java is still having this finally block concept with exception handling? The reason is, managing the external resource is now handled by try with resource concept, but still there are some operations, some cleanup operations or some operations where resource management is not involved but still need to be performed every time, irrespective of exception is coming or not coming. So those type of cases still need to be handled by using finally block, and that's the reason still finally block is remain there in Java with exception handling. So finally block is having different purpose, okay, and try with resource having a different type of purpose. Okay, so let's see try with resource implementation now. If you see this implementation, what I am doing is I have a resource folder. Inside there, I have a file testdata.txt having some lines there. Okay. Now I want to read those lines and print those lines one by one. And for that reason, my program wants to make connection with this external resource test data. Okay. So what we are doing inside the try block parenthesis this time, I am making the connection with that external resource. Okay. As of now, this is one line only where I am making the connections, but sometimes multiple lines involve while you are making the connections. You can separate those lines by using semicolon, and you can put all those lines which are making connection with that external resource inside this try parenthesis only. Okay, and that's it. This is nothing but try with resource. Try with that external resource where you are making the connections. That's it. And then after, inside my try block, you can put your code whatever you want to execute. If exception will occur, catch will execute. If exception will not occur, try will execute. In both of the cases, once this piece of code will finish its execution, then those connections which you have made inside the try parenthesis will automatically get closed because of this feature of exception handling. Because of this feature of try catch, connections are going to automatically close and going to be taken care by try with resource feature.